Hello and welcome to this edition of the Weekend Review of City 7 News, where we take a look at stories that made the headlines over the last 7 days. An international labour organisation representative was in the UAE this week to assess the country's wage protection system, or WPS. The system, implemented in September 2009, ensures that workers in the country receive their salaries on time. An assessment report is due to be out soon.
Which we will have to tackle now.
Over the past 2 weeks, Carl Van Dam, an expert from the International Labour Organization, met companies, employees, banks and service providers in the UAE that fall under the wage protection system. At the end of his visit, a strict protocol prevented him from sharing his initial assessment, but he spoke about the significance of his visit.
Any system which can nowadays better protect workers, especially who are in a cross-border employment situation, is very much welcomed, and it could be inspiring for other countries. And my role is now to make a report on the system, and this report will be delivered to the International Labour Office.
Over 1.8 million workers from 11,917 companies are currently benefiting from WPS. The system ensures that their salaries are transferred on time through banks and financial institutions approved by the ministry. The UAE's Minister of Labour says he is open to criticism.
Till now, we believe we have a good success, and we will always be open to listen to any criticism in order to improve the system.
The final report will be sent to the ILO office in Geneva 2 weeks from now. Natasha Thomas, City 7 News. Earlier this week, a Dubai court sentenced a Tajik man and an Iranian man to life in prison for their involvement in the assassination of Chechen military commander Salim Yamadaev in the emirate in March 2009. Yamadaev was the commander of the elite Vostok battalion in Chechnya. He was shot dead in a car park near his luxury apartment in JBR. Tajik national Maqsood Zone Ismatov and Iranian Mahdi Lornia have been accused of planning the murder and assisting the man who pulled the trigger. The suspected killer has not been named yet. In other court news, the Dubai Court of Appeal has upheld a death sentence against a 30-year-old Emirati man who was convicted of raping and killing a 4-year-old Pakistani boy in a mosque last year. The court upheld the capital punishment but overturned the 6-month imprisonment on the charge of consuming alcohol and referred it to the public prosecution. The judgment is still subject to appeal in Dubai's highest court, the Cassation Court, within 30 days. Last month, the defendant's lawyer had asked the Dubai Appeals Court to commute his death sentence to life in prison, which is 25 years according to the UAE law. Meanwhile, the Cassation Court handed a former UAE minister a 1-year suspended jail term on charges of defrauding a Lebanese businesswoman. The court convicted the former minister and 2 company managers of breaching the trust of the businesswoman in her late brother's stake in an IT company. The 2 managers, who are of foreign origin, will be deported after serving their sentence. The accused had earlier been sentenced to 2 years in jail, but an appeals court had then acquitted them. This week's ruling reversed the ruling of the appeals court. Oil spills from rolled over tankers pose a serious safety hazard. There have been a significant number of such spills in the UAE over the last few years, sometimes resulting in tragedy. This week, the Dubai Civil Defence joined various emergency teams to demonstrate how to handle such situations.
This oil spill is a result of a collision between a car and an oil tanker. Emergency response teams, including the Dubai Police, Civil Defense and Ambulance Services, rushed to the scene to rescue the injured and prevent the spill from spreading. If handled improperly, it could lead to a disaster. Fortunately, in this case, it was only a demo drill.
Main objectives of this training is to bring all stakeholders together: police, civil defense, ambulance, and the company. How can they work together? So to mitigate the consequences of the incident is very critical. If you have a spill, if you don't mitigate the spill correctly, you can have a disaster.
With 1,000 oil tankers traveling on UAE's roads daily, oil spills pose a big risk. In the last 10 years, there have been 50 cases of rolled over tankers recorded in the country. Accident, health, and fire safety experts are raising awareness among emergency teams and the public. They say taking videos and photos, as well as operating mobile phones within the accident's perimeter, could lead to a tragedy.
Mobile phone, lighters, and all types of. Even we told the police officer not to use their communication tools, which is the walkie-talkie, not to use it because that is not intrinsically safe. It can cause also the fire. Now we cover the officers, but we have a plan to cover about 100 to 120 of the patrolling officers, those people who comes to the site first.
Though emergency units are already equipped with skills and knowledge to handle these situations, they say such specialized training programs will help improve handling and speed up response time.
It gives us the chance to bring up the incidents under control with a short time. The response time for us is crucial, and we have to maintain the proper response time in case of any emergency. So we have to maintain the safety of our people before entering to the danger zone, so they don't endanger themselves, and at the same time they are able to be equipped with the proper equipment to rescue the others.
The 3-day training workshop conducted by Enoch involved more than 50 officers from various government departments. The program is a continued campaign carried out across the region in an effort to elevate the standards of safety, particularly in case of hazardous liquid spills. Khadija Sali, City 7 News.